Hey everyone, it's portrait photographer Eli Infante, and in today's video we're going to do a portable setup with the FJ250 and a beauty dish, and I'm going to give you my tips and tricks for how I create my portraits. On this first series, we're in this beautiful location. One of the most important things when you're shooting is to look around. We're in this beautiful trail here, but one of the details that I'm seeing here is that the colors are very vibrant, and that's due to the direction of light. So my first series, I want to get one where I'm shooting in this general area, and then we also got a pathway. Once again, we're talking about like walking around, right? If I just turn around, we get these beautiful yellow background here, but the sun isn't hitting it as much. So I'm gonna show you the differences when it's a little bit more vibrant in the background, and then where it's maybe not as vibrant, but it still can be a beautiful shot. Now, another detail, when I do decide to shoot here, we have dirt and mud here, so I definitely gonna wanna move her towards the yellow leaves that have fallen there, so I get a nice overall beautiful picture. Let's get you right around here. That way we get more of the brown tones here. Because my fear is that if we're too much in the foreground without that, we're gonna get just pure dirt, all right? And so as I'm looking around here, okay, cool. So what's cool is that I'm gonna go camera right here. The sun is coming in from this direction, so I'm looking at the lighting on her face. So a lot of the times, if you want your lighting to look a little bit more natural, keep the light in the same direction as the sun. I'm gonna go ahead and set up my settings here. One thing that's very important here is that I love doing bokeh portraits, right? This lens does 1.4, but in a location like this, if I blur out the location so much, I'm gonna lose all that color. So I'm gonna try a mixture of apertures. I'm gonna probably shoot at f2, maybe 2.8, get a little bit of that depth of field because I want those rich colors. So I'm gonna start off at f2.5 and ISO 100. So on my settings, I'm at 2.5, shutter speed 100, and then ISO 100. I'm gonna go ahead and do the natural light photo so you guys can see what the natural light's looking like without the off-camera flash. So I want the photo to look super natural. We're just gonna fill in the light with the strobe now, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. I don't need high-speed sync, so I'm gonna be in front curtain sync. And my power, usually when the shutter speed is low, that already tells me that I'm probably gonna be at power 5 and below. So I'm gonna start off at 3.5 and see what we get here. All right, Ava, I'm just gonna a shot here. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that looks perfect. Okay, Angel, it's getting you a little bit closer. Okay, let's get it right about here, but lighting looks great, okay? Beautiful. All right, Ava. In here, 1, 2, and 3. One of the details that whenever I'm shooting is I always zoom into the catch lights. I wanna see where the catch lights are located. If the catch lights are not there, that tells me my light's either too high or it needs to be repositioned. So right now, we have it in about butterfly light position. We have the catch lights in the upper middle part of the eye, which is always good. You can never fail with a light setup that looks like that. So everything looks good. And another little detail that I love, because we're not in directly with a bunch of leaves blocking her, we are getting a natural little rim light over here. So we're like in the open area. So it's those small little details, that's just gonna add a nice dimension to the photograph. That nice rim light is just a nice little touch to this picture. So we're just gonna shoot away now. Now that I've already locked in my settings, I found the spot that I love, we're just gonna rock and roll here. All right, Ava, we're gonna shoot here about 5 minutes or so, okay? We're just gonna try different poses. Now that the sun has come out, I noticed that we were getting some like unwanted light on the nose. So just a simple step forward. If you could take a step back again, Ava, you'll see how the sun is coming here. Now, sometimes you can blend the strobe with that sunlight, but I wanna make sure I get some clean lighting with my strobe only. So by just taking a step forward, we've gotten rid of that unwanted sunspot, and we're still getting that rim light that we were talking about earlier. So let's come back, Angel. We're gonna basically do the same thing. It was just a small step forward that we needed there to make that work. Now that the sun came out, the settings are changing. So keep that in mind. When you're shooting on location, it's not just plug in your settings and you're gonna keep those settings the entire time. When it was cloudy, the settings were at shutter speed 100. Now that the sun came out, I'm having to compensate for my background. If I leave my settings like that, the background gets too bright. So that's one of the things that I notice when people are learning off-camera flash outdoors, is they think they plug in the settings and that's it. It's like set it and forget it. It's not always like that. Sun came out. Shutter speed's gonna go up. I've moved it to now to shutter speed 200, and my power is gonna go up ever so slightly. So I'm gonna probably move it to 3.5. All right, Ava, we're gonna still do our thing here. 1, 2, 3. One cool tool that we're using today is the painter's pole. This painter pole adapter attaches to any painter's pole. What's great is that you can lock it in. And the reason why we went with something like this is that we wanted something portable today. We didn't want to bring around a lot of light stands. Look how easy and convenient you can do your portraits with just this one little simple setup with a paint pole adapter. Now that I've got this shot, one of the things to keep in mind, sometimes you find a shot, it looks great, but sometimes you can just move and get a different look. So I see that these leaves are there in the foreground. I want to get a little bit of depth on this next shot. So all these photos that I got up until now was Ava standing, blurring out the background, but now I want to add a little bit of depth. I'm going to add her there really quick for a few more shots, and then we're going to go back to the other little shot we talked about earlier. All right, Ava, let's get a couple of shots right over here now, okay? As I'm shooting, I try my best to just take a simple step to the left or to the right, moving close, moving back, because you just never know. Sometimes it's just that small adjustments that makes the biggest difference when you're shooting. So Ava, we're doing great. We're only gonna shoot here for like 1 more minute and then we're gonna move back down that way. Could you move the light a little bit further back, Angel? Because I do want the light to spread out a little bit more. So can you take a step back, Angel? So the reason why I'm telling Angel to take a step back is the closer he is to the subject, the light fall off is a lot faster. So by him taking a step back, it's gonna throw a little bit more light and then hit the subject and spread out the light evenly over the subject. So because he is moving back a little bit, I'm gonna compensate and move the light to 3.4 instead of 3.2. That is good. I'm gonna go to 3.8. Oh yeah, that's it. Now that we've got that first shot there, we're gonna turn around and now we're gonna get the spot going in this direction. We're gonna get different colors. The light direction is different, but one thing to keep in mind as I'm doing this is that we have dirt and mud. I feel like it's not gonna look as good, so we're gonna move her down just a little bit more to where the yellow leaves are at, where we get that beautiful yellow tree. And then we'll kind of move around and see, maybe there's a different direction I might not see. So when you get to a spot, don't just get fixated on, this is my first shot, my first idea, and then stick to that idea. Shoot that for a little bit and then move around. Perfect, we're on this next spot. And the obvious shot is to get like the cool pathway down here. And we're definitely gonna get that, don't get me wrong, but I wanna try something a little bit different. I'm gonna try a different angle. Now by experimenting, I noticed that this angle here, it allows me to create framing within the scenery. So I'm gonna use these two trees to create this frame, and I'm gonna place Ava right in between. That way it adds a little bit more structure to the photo, all right? So Angel, you're good there. Let me lock in my settings here. So we're going to go, let's see. The settings are changing because now I'm in the, not in the sun area, and the trees are blocking a lot of the sun. And I'm at shutter speed 1/60th. I'm still shooting at 2.5. I don't want to blur out everything into smithereens. We're in this beautiful location. And I'm at power, let's start off at 3.5. So we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna lower down my shutter speed a little bit more. I'm gonna go to 100, and I'm gonna go to power 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that is the sweet spot. That is perfect. Now I'm gonna turn off my trigger so that you guys can see what the natural light looks like. Now you might think to yourself, well, Eli, when it's cloudy and you're in a scene like this, isn't the natural light just already beautiful? And absolutely, natural light is great, but that off-camera flash, when you add it, it just gives you that pop, it gives you that wow factor. And with the FJ250, a small strobe like this little package, You can get some beautiful results. You can walk around and get some great photographs, and that's what we're doing today. So I want to shoot a little bit wider and shoot a little bit lower. OMG. So by shooting a little bit lower, I'm getting more color. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I am gonna get this little leaf out of the way. It's showing up in the foreground. I don't want this guy, so I'm gonna move him to the side. There we go. One, two, three. Good. Oh man, the colors are beautiful here. Good. Yeah. I was about to ask you, that's a great question. This is a good tip here. Whenever you're working with, whether it's a model, whether it's a client, you always want to ask them, what is their good side? Because then you might photograph them on the side that they don't like, and you end up wasting like 30 minutes, and you know they're not going to pick those pictures. So Ava, is there a side that you prefer?
Honestly, no.
Perfect. So let's do that direction. That is beautiful because the sun's coming in from that direction. So let's stick to that, okay? Wonderful. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. And I'm also getting this log in the foreground. It's like a nice little element within the picture. Anytime I can add some depth into the picture, I absolutely love doing that. Awesome. I feel like I've gotten the full body shots. Now I'm going to go in for the 3/4 shot. So I'm going to go in. Now that I've already got the lighting, the exposure down, now it's all about getting variety now. So this is a 3/4 shot now, Ava. Now that we've got this shot, sun's come out, beautiful. I'm gonna use that as a natural rim light for a 2-light effect. So I'm gonna move Ava. Hopefully the sun doesn't go away. So Ava, I'm gonna get you over here. And I specifically want you here because, ooh, look at that beautiful sun right there, okay? So we're gonna get you in the sun. Now, I do want, let's get your back towards the sun. So we're gonna turn this way, perfect. And then Angel, you're gonna be camera right. So we're doing what we call a cross lighting effect. Sun as rim light, and then we're gonna fill light in just there, okay? And then let's get it maybe where it looks like you're maybe walking forward, kind of like a step forward kind of thing. Yeah, you can even do it. You can even do it like forward too. Yep, either one. That looks good. All right, now the exposure is super bright now. So I need to get into high-speed sync for this shot. So I'm gonna go manual, switching to high-speed sync. Everything before that was all non-high-speed sync. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, power 7 is pretty dang good. So yeah, we're gonna leave it at power 7. So settings is 500 shutter speed, 2.5 on the aperture, ISO 100, power 7, high-speed sync. One little small detail that you got to think about when the sun's coming in, the direction of the face. Ava, could you go back to that same pose we were doing right now? If she turns her nose this direction, you'll see that once again, we get that little spotlight, sun's coming in. It's really hard to control that. If I just tell her to turn your nose a little bit this way, more, right there, boom. Then we can add the fill light clean on the face. Now that we've got the cross lighting set up, we don't have to complicate things. Now I'm gonna change my direction. I'm gonna stand where the sun's gonna hit her from behind, add nice beautiful glow, and then I'm gonna get all of that beautiful color. Anytime you can get the sun behind any greenery, it just adds a beautiful glow to it. So we're just gonna make one small adjustment. Instead of standing here, I'm gonna shoot from this direction now. Ava, you're gonna stay in that same spot in that beautiful pocket of sun that we have here. And we're gonna do basically the same type of look here, but now just different directions. So beautiful. For this next series, what I want to do is I want to now get the subject interacting with your environment. This beautiful location, we got this log. I always try to look for things that can set up the base for the pose. That way she could just fall into it. And so what I'm going to try is I switched to a 35 millimeter. I'm going to get a little bit wider now. And I'm going to use the log as a leading line. One of the reasons why I sat her there specifically is I could have had her here, but I feel like there's too many logs here, so I just want one leading in. We're gonna add a little bit of color with the greenery that's on the log, and then hopefully that sun, and it will pop out in a little bit, we're gonna get that beautiful rim light, and then we're just gonna add that fill light in there. All right, so Angel, can we lower the light, like actually like, not lower it like that, but actually like bring it down? So it's, that's perfect, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. All right, so my settings right now, I'm at 1.8, and I'm at 4,000 shutter speed, ISO 100. Okay, and then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. That is perfect, I'm at power 5, okay? One of the reasons why I love using off-camera flash outdoors is to balance light. You might be looking at this photograph or the scene and saying, I could get this with natural light. Yes, you could, absolutely. But I'm able to expose for all of those beautiful bright highlights. And then when she gets underexposed, just adding that little fill light just gives it just an excellent look at the very end. The biggest takeaway from this photo shoot is I was all about portable setups with the FJ250, and the painter's pole made it super easy. Throughout this entire photo shoot, we didn't move more than 50 yards, and I got multiple looks with this quick, easy setup. Let us know in the comments, what was your favorite photograph? Thank you guys for watching.